So another day, isn't it? Here we are again, in this place, in this space and time we call life, this experience. And oh my, what a miracle, what gratitude we have for this existence. Greetings. Brother Keith is here today, looking sharp in your suit. And also I want to thank you viewers for following your hearts, listening to your heart, and joining us today in this time and space, in this present moment, wherever you are, whenever you are. I wish you blessings in good spirit. I'm the avatar known as Tao Chi Kai. Om, beautiful Om. And Brother Keith, it's so good to see you, bro. We got a bunch of people that couldn't make it today for whatever reasons. You know, this thing here, this live stream is at 11 AM UK London time. And the reason why I have it this time is so that, you know, people from around the world, if they want to join, it's kind of midway times, isn't it? But it's okay if you can't join now. If you can always watch these videos again, because they will be uploaded. But it's always, you know, whenever we're here, we always have it in our hearts and in our minds that we are practicing with other people. It's nice for us just to get together like this, isn't it? Because first and foremost, I am not a teacher. Yeah, I call these things sessions because really all I can do is remind you. I can remind you about your body, what I call the temple of flesh and blood. Allow you, the character, the ego that you believe yourself to be, to start forming a relationship, a compassionate relationship with your body. So you can practice compassion and patience. Because is it not true that without this body, what can we do? You know, it's quite obvious, isn't it? But here we are today. We're going to continue on, but what I really want to help with you today is your internal organs. Because for most of us in this modern world, we are very disassociated, very disconnected with our body. But in particular, what I find, what I've noticed living in this urban jungle, living in the West, most of us are not aware of what's happening inside of us. And this can be something as simple as watching our breath to make sure we're not holding on to the breath. And what most of us tend to do is when we are not mindful, we tend to hold our breath, especially when we are feeling anxious or anxiety or any kind of thing like this. And what happens is eventually it starts affecting our internal mechanics, our internal organs. I'll give you an example. If I'm doing a motion and I'm not coming from the center, we call this the core, isn't it? If I'm not coming from the center and I'm too aggressive with my movements, what's going to happen here is in the beginning the breath should come and go. But if I'm too focused on the external, not coming from my core, I might start tensing up. And if I start tensing up, what happens now is most of us, we start holding onto our breath. We kind of force the movements. So instead of using the whole of the body as one, this is just an example of a movement. Most people end up doing this. And you see how now it's starting to really tense up here. And for most of us, we end up kind of curling in. I'm just doing exaggeration, we end up curling in. To the point where now, eventually this whole function is very limited. But what we are very taking notice of today is the internal organs. You can only imagine what's happening inside here. So here we've got the lungs, above here we've got the lungs, here we've got the diaphragm. So you can imagine if you continue doing this motion without breathing properly, what's going to happen? You're going to really affect the lungs. You're going to affect the diaphragm. And also imagine all the organs. The organs are starting to be twisted in this way. Yes, so many of us are not aware of this. So today I'm going to help you to become more aware, for us to become more relaxed, Yes. So Keith, brother Keith, I'm not sure if you read the message. Have you got like somewhere to lie on the floor today? Because we do some groundwork. Yeah. So viewers at home, good. So if you point the camera down, brother Keith, so I can see you, yes, and I'll join you guys on the floor. And for you guys at home, if you can now, please get off your seats and join us here, me and brother Keith and the rest of the other people joining in. But if you can't, if you're lying in bed, have it an intention within your own heart to follow along with us, because I promise something within you will change. You will notice a change. But for everyone else, come, let's join me and brother Keith on the floor. And today we got like a setup where I'm gonna do this. Bow. See the marvels of modern technology. Right, so now, please come join me on the floor. And also, brother Keith, I'm not sure if you read the message, but did you bring yourself a towel? Did you get yourself a towel? Yes? So for viewers at home, come join us on the floor. Let me do this a bit better. Come join us on the floor. Get yourself a towel, maybe a yoga mat. If not a yoga mat, you can just be on the carpet like this, just as long as you're feeling a bit comfortable, nice and comfortable. Yeah? Yeah. And we got a towel. Oh, we've got another person joining. So brother Otka's come now as well. Yes? So that's it. Come join us on the floor. For many of us, we find it very uncomfortable. And what we're going to do today is we're going to help you to relax your organs. For many people, we can't stand up from the floor properly. Many people don't stand up properly. See, many people don't stand up properly. This is the proper way. If you look at toddlers and babies, you know, as children, we were crawling, isn't it? We crawl around. But for many of us, we have forgotten how to crawl, so you can only imagine that we're not walking properly. But when we play on the ground like this, eventually our core becomes more tighter, our limbs become more even, so that then eventually our hips can become more square, so that then eventually we can stand up properly. Look, standing up properly on both feet. So everything is in unison, everything is even. Yes? Or you can stand up like this. See, I'm standing up in such a way where I'm pushing off both the limbs. Yes? But I'm just giving you a glimpse of what's possible. So, brother Keith, I can't see you, but it's okay. For everyone at home, just join along with me, okay? We've got a towel. We're going to start lying on our backs. Yes, and this is a part of Qigong, my family tradition as well. Because we do Qigong, but this here is actually yoga. This is baby yoga. And these are the things that you should be doing before you move on to the stand-up Qigong. So most of us, if you imagine that being a baby, if you leave a baby on the floor, a baby tends to be like this. Yes? Most babies wear nappies, so they cannot be like this. But if you leave a baby like on the floor like this, it would just... Some babies will start playing with their, with their feet. They'll start putting their feet in their mouth and all this stuff. And as a baby starts becoming more aware of its body, one of the first things it learns to do is actually lift its head. But this is not learning, this is nature. Nature takes its course, you know. And if you're able to lift your head, that means you're able to lift your tail. If you're able to lift your head, you're able to lift your tail. Yes? Just giving you guys examples, okay? And then if you look at a child, if you watch a child very carefully as they grow, after this, they'll start learning to roll. This is what we call torsion. They start learning to roll, to twist. Yeah, they start learning to twist. They start learning to twist so that eventually, if you observe babies, they learn to turn right over. Yes, turn right over. So most babies in the beginning, before they learn how to twist and turn like this, if you leave them on the stomach, they'll tend to be like in this kind of shape, like in a fetal shape. I'm talking about newborn babies. But once they learn to roll and roll onto their stomachs, they end up in this kind of shape. Yes? So they learn to roll. So Keith, I'm just showing you the process of how the human form develops. And then because they learn how to move their head, then babies will start to look up at the world. You see? If you're able to look up at the world now, means that you have function of your tail. You see my tail? My tail has function as well. So now this is a combination of convex, yes, concave, and a combination of torsion. This is torsion. This is torsion. All the while this is happening, all of the organs are very relaxed in order for us to have all these movements. All the internal organs are relaxed for us to have these movements. Yes? And then eventually a baby will start using its limbs. When we say limbs, we're talking about the arms and the legs. Yes, and you notice this is now when baby starts learning to crawl. And to crawl properly, we must come from the core. Notice carefully that my feet are planted flat on the ground. The reason why is it's very relaxed. For most people, when they crawl, they end up having their feet like this. For most adults, when they try to crawl, you notice my feet? Most people try to crawl like this, but if you look at babies, they'll crawl like this. Everything's very relaxed, yes? And then after this, so this now is a combination of convex, concave, torsioning. You see? There's a torsioning happening here. There's a torsioning, but also the ability to look up at the world. And for most of us babies, we start to assimilate, you know, the bigger people around us, and a lot of the things that we want to reach for are above us. Imagine being a child now. So what happens? The baby starts learning to be more, looking up more. You see? Baby starts looking up more at the world. Starts reaching. Yeah? Imagine a baby reaching now for stuff like this. And what happens now, if you notice now, the pelvis is very square. This makes now we're starting to, the baby form starts to turn into what we call like a child form. Yeah, from baby to child form. And child form is when we call them toddlers, isn't it? When now the child can come on her knees. So right, Keith, you don't have to mimic, I'm just showing you, okay? But you just crawl around, Keith, for now. And then look, the infant now is able to still be centered, its core still here, everything core, and then it will stand up. It takes time to learn to stand up. But for us now to become now into a toddler, and most toddlers walk like this. You notice they'll walk very low down like this in the beginning. Most toddlers will walk down very low down like this. Walk down like this. But as they get older, as we become now young children, we start to follow our heads. Yeah, we follow our heads and then we fully extend. And now this here becomes young person, a young human being. And for us in my family tradition, this is when we start doing Qigong. We start doing Qigong here. For most of us, we need to come back down into infancy and start doing, this is here, from this stage here is what we call the animal movement. Yes? But then when we start to devolve a bit more and we come back down onto the ground now, either flat down here, you see now we're completely flat. The axis now is along the ground, the plane is now here. This is now we become baby or primordial. baby or primordial, and we call this yoga. Yes? So I'm just describing to you all the process of how we evolve. But today we are going to work with primordial stuff, and it's going to help you to come back into your core, help you to become more aware of your organs. Okay, Brother Keith, we're going to do, right? You're going to lie flat on your back as possible. And for most of us at home, follow along. Follow along. Right, so many of us right now, as you're lying down here, you might find it very uncomfortable to leave your feet down. You'll find it very uncomfortable. And also, some of you will find that maybe one side of your hip feels raised. Yeah? Or some of you might even find that it's more comfortable now to lift one leg up. Some of you will find that your shoulders, maybe one shoulder is raised off the ground. It can't go down, it can't be flat. Some of you might find that both are raised. And you might find it's very uncomfortable to lie on your back like this. Yes, but do not fear. I'm here to help you to become more aware of your own body. So the reason why you're kind of like feeling very uncomfortable on this ground to be settled is your organs are very tight. So for example, this left limb here, if you can't lie down without leaving your left limb here, all the organs here are very tight. It's almost like they're pulling this limb in towards that organ. But it's not just one organ, it's a combination of many functions. Yes? But what we're going to do to make ourselves feel comfortable is you're going to bring both limbs in. So Brother Keith, you're going to follow along. Both limbs in. Yes, and straight away as you do this, you'll notice that your pelvis feels a bit more square. Yes? So Brother Keith, if you've got the towel, yeah, you got the towel. Grab the towel on each corner so it makes it even longer. Grab the towel on each corner. You're going to place it underneath your knees like this. And the whole point of this is so that you can hold it behind your head. Yes, the towel, it needs a large towel. Yes, and I'm holding it behind my head. And I'm holding it in such a way where now I can relax. I'm holding it behind my head and I can relax in this position. I can relax in this position. Yeah, I've got the two here. I'm holding it here. And then I can relax in this position. And all you're going to do, everyone at home, if you're following along, you're just going to watch the breath come and go. Watch the breath come and go. Become aware of your organs. I said, Brother Keith, you see the towel? I've held the towel from either corner so it makes it longer. I have the towel in either corner so it's longer. And I pull my limbs towards me and I'm going to hold it behind my neck and then I'm going to relax. It's up to you how high up your knees can go, you know. And hold it here and then you're going to just relax. Just hold it behind your neck, relax. Watch the breath come and go. This will give you more awareness of your organs. So as the body is compressed like this, what will also be revealed to you is your diaphragm. If you don't know where your diaphragm is, it's located just around where your heart is. Just around where your heart is. Become aware of that. Watching the breath come and go. Taking note to really relax, allow your legs to relax, but become aware of the organs. If now, as the breath is coming and going, remember as the breath comes in, it's a breath of contemplation, meaning that you're able to watch inside. You're able just to contemplate, just to observe. The breath out is the breath of relaxation. That there is reminding you just to let go. That might mean now for you to relax your neck as well. As the breath comes in, the whole body expands. It allows you to just look inside a bit. As the breath goes, just remind yourself just to let go, just to relax. The only thing here right now that's holding really is just your hand. Your hand is holding onto the towel. That's it, just relax. If you feel the urge now that there's some kind of rumbling, some kind of energy that's inside you that needs to kind of release, if you want to, you can just give your spine a little movement. Just give your spine a little movement. That's it, just give your spine a little movement. It's like you're rocking a baby. That vision might help you. So right now you're holding onto a baby. Just imagine you're holding a baby and you're just rocking the baby. Just gently, you want to rock the baby so it feels comfortable, so it feels relaxed. As you do this, you start to see more, you start becoming more aware of your organs. And in particular, the organs like the ascending and descending colon, the intestines, the stomach. Become aware of the diaphragm. For some of you, you might feel some pain inside your organs at the moment. Do not fear. Just gently rock the baby. That's it, just become aware. There's some tension there, there's some stress there. Just gently rock the baby. That's it. Just gently rock the baby. That's it. Just take our time. Just take our time. So remember, Qigong, or right now what we're doing is primordial yoga. It's not a competition. It's never about competition. There's no judgments here. Leave your ego on the floor. And right now we're actually lying on the floor. There's no comparison. There's no race. This is about you, the ego, the character, forming a relationship with your body. And the body is the thing that you are possessing at the moment. And we do this by gently just watching the breath come and go. It doesn't mean to control the breath. Just imagine you're like a window or a doorway and you're allowing things just to come in and go. Just allow things to go through you, whichever direction they want to. Become an opening. And this in turn allows you to look more inside your internal landscape. And today we are focusing on the organs. Just become aware of your internal organs. Just be aware of your internal organs. Just allow the breath to come and go. Come and go. Okay, and now what we're going to do is, Brother Keith, we're going to gently let everything come down. Let go. That's it. And you're going to give your knees a little when you reach the bottom, give your knees a little shake. Just a little shake. Still being aware of your organs, just give your knees a little shake. That's it. Then once again, you're going to bring your knees up towards you. And if you can, extend your legs a bit more. Make the legs a bit straighter. Yeah, when you putting your knees towards you, make the legs a bit straighter. That's it, just a bit straighter. Become aware where your sacrum is. Become aware where your tail is. Yes? And then once again, we're going to hold on. We're going to let the knees close. Hold on to the towel. And then again, pull the knees a bit closer towards you. Hold on to the towel behind you. Maybe you want to cross the towels over. And then relax.
just relax. Relax and just watch, just behold. What? Just behold. What really helps is, as the breath comes in, if you sigh, was remember, the body is a tool. As the breath comes in, you can sigh. Just sigh, breathing and sighing. So that's one way of allowing the body to express itself, is through sound. As the breath comes in, if you notice carefully, there'll be some certain sound. And if you sigh, you start to sigh, gradually you start being able to sigh from deeper and deeper from within you. So some of you will start noticing more of your organs. You might find there's more discomfort. And I promise you, that discomfort that you're feeling in your organs, it has been there all this time. And just right now, you're taking a conscious effort to give these organs some attention. Just to let them know, just to acknowledge your internal landscape, to acknowledge that, wow, some of my organs are tired. Some of these organs I might have overused. Some of my organs, maybe I have not given them enough time to rest. So the breath in is the breath of contemplation. Another way of looking at contemplation is to being able just to observe and just to acknowledge what's happening right now. And this is when we can start to practice compassion, because as the breath goes, when you sigh, you're practicing to not feel guilty, not feel upset that you have, put your body in this kind of state at the moment. This is when you start practicing compassion towards yourself. Just accept, as you're breathing in, you start identifying. It's almost like we're lifting up the rug to see the cobwebs and the dust, rather than being upset and blaming anyone, especially for yourself. You acknowledge, and then as the breath goes, you brush some of those dust, some of that cobweb away. And we do this with each coming and going the breath. Sigh. If you feel sad, if you feel guilt, just sigh. Sigh it away. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, never mind. It's okay. It's not your fault, you didn't know, Because the way we are now is because how we have been, and the way we will be depends on how we are now. And this is something you start to really become aware of, start to acknowledge, start to affirm in your everyday life when we practice these kind of things. Just breathing and sighing. So now the organs, you will start to identify more. There should be more detail in what you're being able to see, what you are being able to observe within your own landscape. So please, again, Brother Keith and everyone that's joining along, let's gently now lower the limbs back down again. Lower your limbs back down. Still being mindful of your organs. Lower them down. Relax your neck, relax your head, and then gently again. Give your knees a little shake. Give your knees a little shake. That's it. Well done. Okay, what we're going to do again, we're going to pull the knees up towards us and try to extend the legs just a bit more so they're a bit longer. Become aware of where your tail is. Become aware of where your tail is. Just to straighten the legs out, and if you want to, you can help it along by giving it a little pull. A little pull, help them along by giving them a little pull. Still being aware of your organs. Still being aware of your organs. And then now, relax the knees. Let the knees settle. So everything's back again. And then please, take both ends of the towel. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull and let go. Pull and then let go. Yes, pull and let go. Yes, pull and let go. Still holding onto the towel, yes, and then just pull it to the right side or the left side, doesn't matter, with one hand. So let the knees drop either to the right side or the left side, with the towel still pulled. Let your knees drop to either the right side or the left side. It's up to you which side you want them to drop, Keith. Here, watch, look, Brother Keith, you see me? I'm here and I've decided to let him fall this side. Look, Brother Keith, I've got the towels in one hand. Yeah, I'm extending it, yeah, I've got the towels. If you want to have both towels like this, yes? And you let it, whichever side you want them to fall. Whichever side you want it to fall. You see? Whatever side you want, let it fall. And then once again, you're going to relax. But what really helps now in this position here, you can hold it like it's a baby again. You know, like how you're holding a baby? Yeah? So all the people following at home, if you can, do the same as we are. The microphone's very close. I apologize for the sound levels. It's very difficult to record sound when we are moving around like this. But look, like you're like a baby or something. Find a comfortable position. Your knees are still in. And what you're going to do now, you're just going to watch your breath again. Become aware of your organs. In particular, all the organs below. It could be your ascending and descending colon, the intestines, both large and small. For some of you, you might notice things like your kidney or kidneys, depending on which direction you've turned. Some of you will notice maybe your liver and your spleen. Just acknowledge it. The in-breath is the breath of contemplation. The out-breath is the breath of relaxation. Do not control the breath. Become a doorway. Become a window. Observe. You can have your eyes open or closed. Doesn't matter. Whatever feels right. Emphasis on the word feel, not think. We are not practicing to think here. We are practicing to let go and become more aware of our body, of this body that we possess. Just watching. Here we go. So now if you have your knees to the left, if you have decided to turn to the left, please hold on to the towel of your left hand. Yes, and then let go of your right hand and let your arm go back. See, Brother Keith? Yes, I'll hold the towel behind my neck with my left hand, depending which side. That's it, well done. And then just relax. Just relax. Still observing your inner landscape, your organs. So now in this position here, if you notice, we are encouraging some kind of torsion. We're encouraging all of the organs that need this movement to relax so that we can provide more torsioning. You might notice in this position that your ribs are expanding. Some of you might notice there's pain there along your ribs, depending on which side you have decided to turn. Do not fear. Practice compassion. The in-breath is the breath of contemplation. Acknowledge. And then the out-breath is the breath of relaxation. Practice compassion, just to let go. Let bygones be bygones. The past is the past. Now is now. What is to come is yet to come. And be like a doorway. Just allow the breath to come and go. Just observing, just beholding. And if needs be, remember, the body is like an instrument. It makes sound. So as the breath of contemplation enters, the body expands. As the breath goes, allow your body to make sound if it must, if it needs to, if it feels right. Sigh. Sigh. Well done. And then now please, Brother Keith and everyone else, holding back onto the towel, both ends, you're going to bring your body back up again towards the center. And we're going to do the same again with both hands on the towel. We're going to pull towards the other side. And you're going to hold it like a baby. Just get yourself in a comfortable position, holding the towel. In a comfortable position, holding the towel. Just find a comfortable position. Find a comfortable position. Do not think about it. Do not think. Feel. Feel what's comfortable. And once you have found this comfortability, allow your body to settle. And once again, become an open doorway, a window. Watch the breath come and go. And as you behold, you notice the breath in is the breath of contemplation. As the breath goes, it's the breath of relaxation. Let go of tension. Take this opportunity just to look inside. Look inside. So this is primordial yoga. It's almost like we are becoming little fetuses. But unlike being in our womb, in our mother's womb, we are here lying on the ground. So we are still limited because we are in life, this universal womb. Just taking time now just to become more aware of our temple of flesh and blood, more aware of the body that we possess. Then please, Brother Keith and everyone, follow along. Hold onto the towel with the hand that's closest to the floor and let go of the other hand and let it open again. That's it. Find a comfortable position. Find a comfortable position. So brother Keith, when the towel that you're holding here, you see the towel here? I'm holding the towel here, watch. I'm holding the towel here. I place it behind his head here, and I just, you see, the towel's here, place it behind the head, and I relax. So eventually I'll have someone to help me film. Someone can move around the camera and I can really see what position I'm in. But you can't do this, so we have to make do. And again, I'll show for the viewers at home, for you guys following at home. You see the towel's here, Abix. I'm holding it here, hold the end of the towel. You want the towel to be long. You still want it to be extension. Put it behind your head. You see, very comfortable, and then I roll. Just relax. So once again, let your body settle. Become a doorway, become a window. Just allow the breath to come and go. Do not control it. Practice to be humble. When you become aware that you can't control the breath, you become humbled. The ego becomes humbled. Now, the ego is able to watch. Just watch the breath come and go. The breath in is the breath of contemplation. We observe that the body expands. All of the organs is almost like the organs' internal landscapes kisses each other as the breath comes in. And then as the breath goes, it's a breath of letting go, of relaxation. Because remember, nothing is for keeps. Nothing is for keeps. There's always a coming and going, there's always a changing. And this is reflected within our being. If you look inward now, you notice as the breath comes in, your ribs might expand depending on which direction you've decided to turn. Some of you might notice there's pain there along your ribs. Do not fear. Practice compassion. Practice patience. Just allowing the breath to come and go. And as the breath comes in, it will expand, and you will notice those areas within you that is feeling painful. But as the breath goes, allow that tension to go with it. Allow it to go with it. That's it. That's why it's very advisable to watch these videos again, because you won't be able to learn this just from doing it once. If you watch the video and you observe the way I'm doing it, eventually you'll be able to do it. All these things that I'm showing are very important, because these are all things that your body already knows how to do, just that you've forgotten. And I'm just reminding you just to let go, to allow your body to become more natural. That's all it is. Watch these videos again. Eventually you won't need to watch them, it becomes nature. Remember, the body is an instrument. As the breath comes in, the body expands. But as the breath goes, allow the body to make sound. Maybe in the form of sighing. And then please, let's let go. Let's come back up again. Holding on to both the towels, bring it back towards the center. And you'll notice now that everything should feel a bit more looser. Everything should feel a bit more looser. You should have more awareness of your organs. Give your limbs a little shake. And then again, please, holding on, and try to extend your knees a bit further. Extend your legs. That's it, Brother Keith. So with Brother Keith, what you're going to do is, right now, you're going to hold, was right now you're here, Brother Keith, yeah, you're here. Relax your low back. Relax your low back. Relax your lower back. That's it, let your tail go down. Let your tail go down. That's it. What's going to help as well, Brother Keith, if you bring your head and your tail towards each other. Yeah, that's it. And then you're going to let both of them relax together. Let both of them relax together. Let the tail and the head relax together. There we go. Practice this often and eventually you will hear an adjustment. There'll be a click. With Brother Keith, your sacrum at the moment is stuck. It needs to, as we do it during therapy, you know, during therapy, isn't it? I release it. But if you do these things that I'm showing you here by yourself, it'd be much more beneficial for you because then you'll be releasing it yourself. So you notice all this stuff that we're doing here, I actually do for you in therapy. But here you're doing it for yourself. Yes, good. And for everyone at home, once again, just let your legs extend a bit. That's it. And relax. There we go. Okay, now please let your knees come back down to the ground. That's it, let your knees come back down to the ground. Well done. Give your knees a little shake. So please, Brother Keith, you're going to feel along your abdominal area. Let's have a little feel now of the organs. You should be able to notice them more. You will notice where there's pain. Yes? So for those of you that are following along, I'm now giving you awareness of areas in your body that you have neglected. Some people, most of us, when we say we have low back pain, we point to our lumbar, but you must become aware that it's actually the organs that are having the problem. But because you're not connected with your body, you point to where the fire is, you point to where the smoke is. I'm here showing you where the root of the cause is, where the problem really is. Some of you might say you have a sore neck. Once again, I'm letting you know that the problem is actually somewhere else. It's not your neck. It's actually a bit lower down. It's where your core, the problem is coming from the core. Just become aware. So please, Brother Keith and everyone following along, with both hands, just gently rub your abdomen like you're rubbing a baby. Clockwise. Clockwise. So as we're going around to the left side here, this is the colon, the descending colon. There's a colon there on the other side. And as you go up the other side, there's another colon. Just rub like you're rubbing a baby's belly. And be very aware to rub where it's painful. But just lovingly, gently, lovingly. Once again, become an open doorway, become a window. Allow the breath to come and go. Don't hold on to the breath, just allow the breath to come and go. And just rub your stomach. Really observe, behold internally. And let your hands glide over where there is pain. No need to be transfixed or fixated on one area. Just allow the hands to go round. Every now and then, acknowledging areas that are feeling pain. Do not be fixed or fixated to one spot. Just allow your hands to swirl. It's almost like we're stirring a teacup, hot tea. We're just swirling it around. We're not fixated just to one spot. And you notice this clockwise motion is very beneficial. Allow the breath to come and go. That's it, just clockwise like this. That's it. And then please, holding onto the towel. Again, with the towel still there, yes. Bringing the knees back up again. And then give your body a rock. Because what we're doing here is when we're doing this, we're actually allowing the spine to rock. Because when we relax the organs a bit, we want to offer the spine a bit more motion, a bit more movement. Stressed out organs equals stiff spine. Yes, the innards, if the innards are stiff, the external will also reflect it. In the West, this is what I'm going to be very honest now. Growing up in the modern world, I was born in Vietnam, from the East. What I've noticed is this place, this land that I live in, many of us are too distracted by the external. We're too distracted by the superficial. Whereas I was very lucky, I've been able to look at life from a different perspective. I've always observed more internally. I've always acknowledged internally. Always acknowledging how I felt rather than how I thought. More of how I feel rather than what I think. And there's a big difference here. When we are thinking, this is something based on stuff that we have observed from the outside. And lots of the time we're using imagination. But if I'm feeling now, I'm feeling what's happening inside of me, inside of my being. I tend to follow my gut feeling much more. I use my intuition much more. Less distracted by the external. More grounded, more centered when I'm feeling. There we go. And then again, if you can, please, holding the towel, pulling the knees close to you, and just extending your legs. And Brother Keith, look very carefully here. You see here, this is still on the ground. It's not up here, yeah? It's still on the ground here. If for this to be on the ground, for yourself, you might find that your neck needs to be up for this part to be on the ground. Yeah, you notice that? Yes? See? Right now, your neck and your sacrum is tethered. We say that your head and your neck at the moment is tethered. But just become aware. That's it. And I'll mention to you again, Brother Keith, allow your neck and your toe to relax at the same time. Allow your neck and your head to relax at the same time. That's it. Well done. And then again, please, allow the knees to come down. And we're going to continue again to massage the internal organs clockwise. Glide your hands over your organs. Imagine you're rubbing a baby. Just lovingly, gently. Do not be transfixed or fixated by any areas. As you glide over certain areas, you will feel pain or tension. Do not be fixated. Do not be transfixed by those areas. Allow this circular motion to continue. Be an open doorway. Be a window. Allow the breath to come and go. remember, the body is an instrument. If you feel the need to make some kind of sound, allow it to resonate from within you. The sound that really helps in this situation is sighing. For most of us, we need to sigh more. The more you sigh, the more you allow your body to express yourself, the sigh becomes more deeper. In turn, the breath is able to travel in deeper and further. Just gently. And please, Brother Keith and everyone at home, hold here. This is where your sacroiliac is. Yeah, this is where your sacrum is. It's just above where the genitals are. It's where the pelvis is. You're gonna hold down here. It's almost like you're holding here, and you're gonna just gently rock. You'll find that one end is rocking easier than the other. If you find this so, you are reminded to let go of your neck, to relax your neck. Thank you. The moment you relax your neck, you'll notice that this movement becomes easier. You'll notice that the movement becomes easier if you relax your neck. You're reminded to relax your neck. For some of you, you might have heard some clicks and clacks by now. These are good ones. These have been done without any force. So Brother Keith, you remember during therapy, I was pushing onto your pelvic bone, remember? So now you're doing this for yourself. And just in a relaxed manner. Become an open doorway, become a window, allow the breath to come and go as you are gently rocking and swaying. Because now you have more awareness of your organs. You notice that your organs, they too also move. You notice this as the breath comes in, your whole body, every facet of your body is almost like it's embracing one another. It's almost like everything hugs each other when you breathe in, when the breath comes in. And likewise, when the breath goes, every facet of your being needs to let go. It needs to move away from one another. It must give each other space. See, I'm speaking here metaphorically and metaphysically. And this can be also seen in everyday life externally. No one owns another. Everyone is equal. Everyone has the right to live their life as they choose. This is no different to every organ in your body. Every cell, every molecule that makes up your being is the same. Everything has the right to be. Everything is equal. So this is why I have to say again, I'm very lucky that I was born into a culture or a family that was very acknowledging of what I'm describing here. Because growing up in this land that I am currently living in, society that I have experienced does not think like this. That's why we see a lot of the things that we are seeing now. But I really feel if we start to become more aware of the internal, we can start creating balance. And the balance will happen with the individual. It's almost like each blood cell starts taking responsibility for itself. That's it. And then again, just giving your organs a nice, gentle rub. You should feel a bit more settled now, Brother Keith. Yeah, it feels good, yeah? And so too all you beautiful beings following along this video. You should feel a bit more settled. You should feel a bit more comfortable now lying on the floor like this. We are practicing at the moment primordial yoga. This is still like like a fetal, we're like still being a fetus. There we go. Clockwise. We're just following the natural movement of the internal organs, because when we look at organs, nothing is symmetrical, believe it or not. It's like in the universe, everything we see, it looks symmetrical, but it isn't. We describe it as fractals. We see the golden ratio everywhere. And it's no different to our internal landscape, our body. So that's why this movement that I'm showing you here is very important. Well done. So now, please, Brother Keith, we're going to now put the towel behind our neck. For everyone following along, please follow along. Put the towel behind our neck. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring the towel and hold it like so. Hold it between here. See, look, I've made it less slack, and then I can bring it behind here, and then I can hold. It really does depend on yourself. Go with what you feel is right. Some of you might be here. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you can make it a bit more closer, there. What we're doing is we're bringing the organs together. But for many of us, the organs are very tight. So we're bringing the organs together to bring to where they are at the moment. And you're going to hold. And once again, and then Brother Keith, watch. On either side, I want to hold and relax my knees. You see? I'm holding the towels here. If you want, if the towel's long enough, you can hold it like here. And you can relax like this. Yeah? If you hold the towel by the corners, diagonal corners, you'll make the towel longer. But for everyone following at home, try following as best you can. You can either hold it like this, relaxed, or you can hold it underneath your knees. Whatever feels comfortable. Whatever feels comfortable. Hold, and then you're going to relax. And then gently allow your legs to open. Allow your groin to open. Yeah, gently allow your groin to open and just relax. And once again, become an open doorway, an open window. Because I'm talking at the moment, I'm having to restrict my breath flow. But for you at home, please take this opportunity. Become an open doorway, an open window. Allow everything to open. Some of you might need to pass wind now. You might need to fart. Let it happen. Allow your legs to open gently. Allow the breath to come and go. The breath in is the breath of contemplation. The breath out is the breath of relaxation. So in between the breath in and breath out, this is when you need to practice compassion. You need to practice to be humble, to practice humility so that the breath can go. And if you practice compassion, the breath can also go. It means to let bygones be bygones. When we observe this, when we acknowledge this, we are reminded that everything is forever changing. Control is illusion. Just behold. And when we do this, the organs will have time and space just to relax. For those of you who have been trying to meditate and you're finding it hard to sit still, or you're finding it hard to watch your breath, please practice everything that I've showed you here, because it will prepare your body to be able to sit in a meditative place, in a meditative state. And then now again, Brother Keith, you're going to find that it might be painful, yes? Do not fear. Gently let go of the towel and let everything open. That's it. You'll feel tension in the groin, in the area here. Do not be fearful. I promise you, this tension, this pain that you feel has been here all the time. It's just that now you have taken time to acknowledge it, to give it some attention. Good. Following along again, please, gentle rotation around your organs. Let go and just around your organs. That's it. All the way down towards your pelvic bone, your pelvic area, just above your genitals. Just rotate, nice circular. You see, we're giving the whole of the organs attention. Just circular. Do not be transfixed or fixated to any particular point, especially areas that you feel pain or tension. Just allow your hands to glide over the whole in a clockwise circular motion. Do not be transfixed or fixated on any area, because when you do that, you'll make yourself even more knotted. Become an open doorway, become a window. Allow the breath to come and go. That's it. Every now and then you'll feel some of the tension trickle downwards. You'll feel the tension trickle downwards. Was this the blood starting to flow? If it trickles downwards, let it go, continue downwards. Well done. And now everyone following along, please, Brother Keith as well, if you can, let your legs become straight. There. That's it. Continue, big circle. Gliding, massaging, comforting the organs do not be transfixed or fixated on any particular point. Become an open doorway. Allow the breath to come and go. And then now, please, Brother Keith and everyone following along, you're going to place your hands once again right where the pelvic bone is. It's almost like there's a triangle, yes? There's a triangle. You place here, and it's going to be placed on either side of the hips. Become aware of this area, and then, if you can, just palpate. Palpate. Was what it is along this area here, along the groin area, there's two major arteries. We call these the rivers. This is two major meridians flowing down this area here. You're going to palpate these areas. If you want to also, you can hold down a bit. Just hold down to kind of stop the blood flow. We call it holding the dam. We're blocking the dam. Some of you will feel pain in this area. Do not fear. Show compassion and humility. Palpate or hold. You feel pain here. Allow the breath to come and go. Allow the breath to come and go. And then gently become aware of your heels. Yes, become aware of your heels, and you're going to push down onto the ground with your heels. You should feel a pop where your fingers are. Did you feel it, Brother Keith? Yep, you see, we just made a correction there. That correction there was right where the sacroiliac is. It's a little correction. You might have heard a pop either on the right side or the left side. It just depends on how you use your body. That's it. And continue to palpate, or you can leave pressure here. There's two major arteries there. Some of you now will start feeling warmth along this area. This is blood flow. Do you feel warmth now, Brother Keith? You start to feel it's warm down there. That's it. Become an open doorway. Because what's happened now is because your organs are feeling more comfortable, the blood flow is starting to flow all the way down towards your feet. You notice this, isn't it? Yes, the legs should start feeling more full. And then again, please, now, for males, you can start just to palpate your genitals, your intestines, your testicles. Just gently palpate. There's no judgment here. Leave your egos on the floor. We are doing what is necessary. Just gently palpate your genitals. And once again, you'll start feeling blood flow into your genitals. For females, you just do the same thing. Just palpate. Feel blood running into your genitals. But at the same time, feel blood, or what we describe as qi, flowing down your limbs, down your legs. That's it. And at this point now, Brother Keith, and it's particular, anyone who's above the age of 45, or even anyone above the age of 45, pay particular attention now. What you're going to do, you're going to raise your head and look towards your genitals. That's it, just gently. That's it. And then you're going to gently relax again. Relax your head, that's it. You'll notice now your head should feel a bit more aligned. Your head and your tail should feel a bit more aligned. Everyone follow along, but this is particularly for people who are above the age of 45. Once again, gently raise your head to look at your genitals. You don't have to look at them, you can have the intention to look at them. And as you do so, become aware of your heels. Yep, become aware of your heels. Yep, become aware of the whole of the leg. And then that's it, yes. And then gently lower yourself down again. Still palpating, that's it. Then once again, please, Brother Keith and everyone else, be aware of your heels, and you're going to gently push onto the ground with your heels. Just gently, just a little gently push, and then relax. There we go. We're just helping just to relax the sacrum, especially the sacroiliac area. And then once again, gently lift your head to look at your tail or your genitals. You don't need to look at them, just give the intention of looking. And then once again, relax. And then follow along now, please. Again, gentle, big, clockwise movement, circles along your whole of your body now. I can't move over my microphone, but everyone else, please follow along. Big, clockwise, circular motions along the whole of your body, traveling down the ribs, right down towards the genitals, above the ribs, yes, the chest, everything. Gently rub, gently massage. Do not be transfixed or fixated by any point. Let the motion be continuous. And then now, from the top of your chest, start to move both hands down on either side. And then continue doing that in a circular motion. Circular down the sides, so you're feeling the ribs all the way down towards the hips, to either side of the genitals. Follow that movement. Do not be transfixed or fixated by any point. Be an open doorway. Allow the breath to come and go freely. You'll notice now you start feeling warmth along the upper body now, along up towards your shoulders and your neck. That's it, circular motions. Look, either side, either side. Either side. That's it. Either side. And then now, please, gentle tapping, what we call bong. Just gentle. And this thing, what you're doing here, in a relaxed manner, you're gonna cup your hands. Your hands are not flat. Imagine you're patting on the surface of water. You pat in such a way where the bubbles appear under the surface. You pat in such a way where there's no splashes on above the surface. You pat in such a way where there is energy being projected inwards, but in a very relaxed manner. And you notice that you're patting your organs. Just be gentle in a relaxed manner. You can alternate clap, or you could do simultaneous clapping. It's up to you. But for most people, you'll find that alternate clapping is what is going to be needed at the present moment. Once again, be an open doorway, be an open window. Allow the breath to come and go freely. The breath in is the breath of contemplation. So as you're clapping like this, as the breath expands, you'll start really observing your organs. The breath out is the breath of relaxation. So as you're clapping like this, as the breath goes, feel your organs becoming a bit more movement. Like your organs are feeling like they're just got more space to jiggle around as you're sending the pulse in. Clapping all the way down towards the two arteries that I mentioned before. Patting all the way down towards the two arteries between the on either side of the legs. Patting. Patting. Alternate. And then now, please, everyone, gently increase the intensity of your bong, of your clapping, of your patting. Remember, you're not trying to cause splashes in the water. You want bubbles to appear under the surface. Increase the intensity just a bit. Start to feel awake. Patting the lungs, patting the ribs so the lungs can expand, patting directly on your heart. Just gently, but with more vigor, showing compassion and integrity, showing some love towards thyself, patting the stomach, which includes the spleen, the liver, patting both colons, both ascending and descending colons, patting the intestines, the small and the large. Now patting also the bladder, patting in such a way where you feel the energy traveling towards the kidneys. Then patting further down now towards the two canals, the two major arteries that are by your hips, and also gently, lovingly patting your genitals. For females, you can really imagine yourself patting your ovaries. For males, gently pat your testicles, your penis, just gently. Gently. Now patting the legs. Good. And then now, everyone, but in particular, people who are age 45 and above, gently raise your head to look towards your tail or your genitals. That's it, just look. Allow the breath to come and go, just gently, and then relax. There. As you do so, allow your shoulders to remain behind. Again, gently lifting your head to look at your genitals, leaving your shoulders behind. Leave your shoulders behind. Leave your shoulders behind, and then relax. So please, all together now, everyone, I want you to take a conscious breath. We're going to take a conscious breath, be it through your nostrils or your mouth. It does not matter at this time and moment. And really feel that breath going in, and then patting in such a way where, as you're patting, so breathing out and patting in such a way where you can really feel this vibrato. Again, taking a conscious breath in, and Do not be ashamed. Do not be afraid. Allow your instrument to make sound. You notice that depending where you're patting and where your sound is traveling, you'll notice there's certain areas that feels like it needs a bit more breath. On your next breath, bring attention to that area again. Breathing in. Now you'll notice that as you're breathing in and you're sighing like this, you will notice where it is that there is more dense, there's less space. This is what we describe as stagnation in the body. For those of you who follow my videos, you'll notice how I'm able to know where to pat, where to send energy into people. And now you will experience for yourself how I'm aware. And again, just taking a conscious breath in, feeling the ribs expand, feeling the organs expand. Everything is like hugging itself. And as the breath goes, sigh and pat. And again, taking a gentle breath, and you're finding now the breath is a bit more deeper. The body is able to expand further. It's almost like all the organs are able to hug each other more. And then sigh and pat. And you'll notice as you're sighing out, it's almost like the organs and everything else is able to give each other more space. There's more expansion now when you sigh out. There's more expansion left behind when you sigh out. Continue doing so. Become an open doorway. Become a window. Take a conscious breath and really allow the breath to travel in and expand. Feeling more energized, feeling more alert, feeling more embodied, feeling more at one. And then now, please, everyone in unison, please, allowing your arms to flap outwards. Let the palms, let the outside of your hands tap the ground. Tapping the body, then tapping the ground. Yeah, let your hands open outwards towards the ground. You could be either simultaneously or alternate. It doesn't matter, whatever feels right. Let your hands pat your body, but then let the hands pat the ground on either side of your body. Yes, let your arms open. Let the wings stretch. No effort here. Be effortless as possible. Be an open doorway. Continue sighing. Continue allowing your body to make sound. Patting the body and then patting the ground. Well done. That's it. Good. Well done. So please now, everyone, if you can, bringing your knees up towards you, allowing, remain relaxed as you bring the knees up towards you. That's it, well done. You find it's easier now, yes? You find how easy that is? And once again, we're going to do now, you're going to relax and let your knees go. Relax. Yeah, relax. That's it. And then again, you're going to bring your knees up towards you in a relaxed manner. And then we're going to relax and let them go. And again, bringing your knees up towards you in a relaxed manner. Really being aware of the organs. You should feel the organs are more relaxed now. And then relax the knees and let them go. Let them go whichever way they want to flop. Let them flop. Doesn't matter which way they flop. And then again, bring your knees up towards you in a relaxed manner. Really feel in between your legs. You should be able to feel your groin much more now. And then again, relax your knees and let them go. That's it. Again, bring your knees up towards you in a relaxed manner. Become very aware of your groin. You should feel that your groin is much more wider now. It should be more open. And then again, relax your knees and let them fall. Whichever way they want to fall, let them fall. Well done. So please everyone, let's pretend we're babies now. You're going to start to gently rock your knees like we did in the beginning with the towel, but now you're going to do it without the towel. Just rock the knees from side to side. That's it. So Brother Keith's been practicing this exercise. He's been practicing this movement, and he's noticed there's been big changes in his being. So, you know, we recommend that everyone do this. I really do recommend you watch this video again, follow along until you don't need to watch the video. Because if you try to do this all from memory, it means you're thinking. Remember, we are practicing to feel. We're not practicing to think. We're not practicing to remember. We are practicing to be more natural. When you do things like this, when you start to feel more, become more embodied, more have a better relationship with your body, it becomes natural to do these things. You no longer need to remember to do these things. So please, I urge you to watch these videos until you no longer need to watch them. Because as we're going along, I've been helping you, I've been instructing you, I've been guiding you as a friend, as a brother, just to allow you, to let you know, remind you that, hey, this is how we could do it as well. There's another way of doing things. That's it. Good. Remain really relaxed as you do this. Good. So yeah, you see, notice we're increasing the torsioning, isn't it? You should feel your ribs expand more. You see, all the way up here, all the way up to the top. Well done. So now we're going towards the end of this session. It's been an interesting one, isn't it? Just to become aware that, hey, we need to be very comfortable within our own being in order for us to be able to crawl. So just imagine this is primordial yoga. This is from my family tradition, Qigong, which encompasses everything from birth to death. All of you, I'm just introducing to you like just in dribs and drabs. But eventually it's all going to lead to meditation. And when I say from life to death, the reason why we practice this is so that when it comes to the time for us to go, we're not scared to go. We are in complete beholding of what's to come. We're not in fear of it. And if you're not afraid of death, it means you're not afraid to live. And that's what I noticed living in this land. Many of us live our life very afraid. So we're not fully living. Good. So let's just try now to bring ourselves up, yes? Now let's just try now just to turn onto our side. Can you do that, Brother Keith? That's one, yeah? So remember, look, when using the spine here, remember to always remind yourself to relax your organs as you turn here. Look, be very relaxed about it. And then I'm going to lift my knees up here. Then I relax to come up the other way. I'm not tensing to come up the way. It sounds very counterintuitive because this paradigm that I'm introducing to you is the complete opposite of what you've all been programmed to do. You're going to gently lift your knee up in a relaxed manner, relaxed, and then you're going to let gravity take its course. And you're going to relax, and when you relax now, then you're able to come up the other side. You see? There's always a give and take. I'm not tensing to turn. I'm not tensing. I'm not using quotes, using my muscle. I'm using my spine. I'm using this ebb and flow, this relaxation to turn my body. And then to go up here of this side, I let gravity take its course. Yeah, and it just so happens that gravity pulls this knee along. And if I want to turn the other way, I have an intention to lift up gently. And then I let gravity bring me up the other side. Practice this very well. This will help you to become more supple. Let go of your neck, Brother Keith. Thank you. Yeah, let go and then just turn. Because I can notice straight away, if you're tensing your neck, it means you're using too much of your mind. That's it, let go of it. Yeah, there we go. And just let gravity take its course. Just let go, be relaxed about it. If you ever have time, watch babies the way they move. They move very relaxed. They're not thinking. They're not thinking about what they're doing. It's very body. Yeah, I mean, just allow gravity to take its course. I'm not tensing. Don't tense. Too many in this world, I see it. Everyone is very distracted by the fireworks. Everyone wants to be cut. You know, people want bigger lips and bigger this and bigger that, but no one really looks inside their inner being, see how their organs are doing, see if they're peaceful within their own body. Everyone's too worried about what they look like in the mirror. But I promise you, what you see in the mirror is what you want to see. You only see what you want to see. It's very illusory. That's it. And then now, please, everyone, let's try now to turn all the way around to the other side. Yeah? Boom. Let gravity take its course. And then here, try to turn around the other side. Yeah, maybe roll around a bunch of times, Brother Keith. So I urge you all to practice to roll. If you practice to roll like this, but in a relaxed manner, eventually your organs are getting more relaxed. You'll start hearing clicks and clacks along your spine, but you have to be rolling in a very relaxed manner. Just rolling around like this. We're practicing now to become what we describe as baby yoga. You see, Brother Keith, now as we're moving like this with the spine, this is what we call baby yoga now. Just to roll. Just to roll in a relaxed manner. In a relaxed manner. That's it. Let everything drop. Yeah. Just take your time, Brother Keith. Yeah, it's going to take some time. I'm just speeding us along so you're seeing the process. But today we run out of time. I'm just speeding along. So now eventually when we're able to roll now onto our front, yes, when we're able now to roll into our front now, you notice here is where it's very important that if your tail is relaxed, Brother Keith, then you can really lift your head up and look at the world. You see? If your tail is relaxed, but right now it still feels like, yeah, so you see you're lifting up to look at the world, isn't it? Yeah? So Brother Keith, look at me. Yeah, look. This is what babies start to do. They start doing this, isn't it? They look around the world. Yeah, looking around the world. So practice this often. But also, what babies tend to do as well, they tend to do this. You see? Yes. Just get you to starting to become aware of the crawling motion. Was now, we're a baby now, we're going to get ready to learn to crawl, you know? That's it. But just do these kind of exercises often, Brother Keith. Very just gentle. Everyone at home, do this as well. But it's very incremental. Yeah, very incremental. So you can look around at the world. You see, so you can look around the world. It just takes time. Just be very gentle when you do it. Do not tense. Remember, do not tense. Do not tense.
I've seen a lot of people practice yoga there, and they're too tense. Baby yoga, yeah, that's it. Right, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to show you all what happens now after this. When this happens now, when you're able to get everything relaxed, then you're able to lift yourself up, you see? And if I lift myself up now, my spine follows my tail, and that's why I'm able to come up here. This is how babies start to walk. You'll notice this, when a baby starts sitting up like this, the baby now has full control of the spine. When a baby is able to sit up like this, that means the baby is able to crawl. But for many of you at the moment, your sacrum, everything here is still very tight. So I urge you to practice everything that we've been doing so far up to this point, up to the rolling around. Yes, everyone, practice everything up to the rolling around. But you're yet to be able to do what I'm doing here. It will take time. You can't rush it. Okay, brother Keith. I'm gonna switch cameras now. So there we have it. Well done. So I apologize if the sound was hard, but it's very difficult for me to record, especially when I'm doing a lot of movements, isn't it? It's very difficult. But brother Keith, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, or anything you want to share about today's session?
Only that I've been doing some of the exercises already, so I've got kind of like a heads up. So I'm a little way forward in the exercise, doing them.
Yeah, well done, brother Keith. So brother Keith also comes to me for therapy sessions. He comes like once a month, and along with that, with these things that we're doing here, I've seen such a remarked improvement. And I'm sure he could say for himself that things are changing in his own being. But for everyone at home, please, if you really want to help yourself, if you really want to start a relationship with yourself, do everything that we've done today and just watch the video. Do everything up to the point of turning, of rolling around. If you do this, you'll notice a big change within your body, because I promise you, many of us right now, we are not walking properly. We're not standing properly. And this affects the way you're thinking. It affects many things. But if you can start back now from the beginning, and we're talking about primordial stuff here, everything that we're doing today, up to the point of turning or torsioning, that was all primordial. You know, all that stuff with like watching the breath, allowing the breath to come, being an open window, all of this stuff is what we was doing inside our mother's womb as embryos, believe it or not, before the ego appeared. Yes, when this body was still inside the mother's womb, this was before there was ego. That there was what, during this point here when we were still meditating, there was no mind, there was no ego, so to speak. And what I was showing you today was a glimpse of that. If you're able to do that, you're able now just to really allow your body to become more natural. For you, the ego, to become more humbled, to show more humility, more compassion towards your body, towards this vehicle that you possess. I promise you, you possess it. Brother Otkar. Brother Otkar, do you have anything you want to share or want to ask?
Hello. Hello, thank you for this session. It was great. It was just a little bit too early for me, so it's 6 a.m. in Peru, right? Well, right when we started, so I was a little bit late. But I just want to say that this was really good. It was tense for me. I felt like a lot of tension in my hips when we were laying down with like the stretched legs at the end, like towards the end. But the massages with hands helped a lot. It was very good. and yeah, and then the rolling was amazing. Like just rolling on the ground, it really felt in my body like as if I'm putting things together. And then when we were laying on the ground, like in the Sphinx pose, like just doing those slight movements to the side was really good. And then when I did the last thing when you actually finished, like I just try to sit on my, just kind of like a crunch down, like I can show you that, like, yeah, like I was just like sitting like this for a moment, yeah, and I was just trying to move my hips to the sides, and it released, I don't know, it released something, and it was really good. It was tense in my lower back, but it felt amazing. Thank you very much, Kai. Thank you.
Brother Otkar, it's so awesome to see you. You've moved to Peru now. But you're correct. You're completely correct there. So the more you do this, you start becoming aware of your internal organs. Which, so far we've been doing Qigong, we've been doing Li Qigong standing up. And it occurred to me that really I should really bring you guys back towards the beginning, towards the stage of when we was no ego. That's why we describe it as primordial. This is my translation of my family tradition. We don't call it that. We call it something else. I'm just showing you stuff that I learned from very young. I'm taking you guys through the process again. But yes, you're correct. When we are in primordial state, we're not using our ego. It's all about body. But in terms of now, for all of us in the modern world, you'll notice not many people can do this. Not many people could do this. But if you do this now, you are really able to breathe from your diaphragm. Yeah, but also, when we go toilet, this is the most ideal way to go toilet. Was in the West, we sit on toilets and we push. Yeah, we push everything out. This is how we get hernias and hemorrhoids and stuff like this. But over in the East, or even like in the jungle or in the animal kingdom, you'll notice you do a squat. And if you're able to squat now, the breath just comes and goes, and what needs to go will go. What needs to be expelled will go, come out naturally. This is really the natural way to do things. But please, if you continue doing all this stuff on the floor, Brother Otkar, everyone that's present, you'll notice that you become more aware of your internal organs. This is a primordial state. It's no longer about up here. It's no longer about what you see on the outside. It's no longer about what you see in the reflection. When we practice down here, it brings you back down to the ground. It makes you look inward into your own being. And if you can really become more aware of your internal landscape, I promise you, everything externally will change. And this includes the way you think. I promise you, it will change. So please continue on with everything that we've done so far, so that we can gradually, move on. Because today I wanted to finish with maybe the 8 pieces of brocade, but I don't think people are still ready for it yet. I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to teach it. I'm 45 years old now. It's going to take some time. I don't know, man. Yeah, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, isn't it? I don't want to show you to run before you can crawl, man. But Brother Otkar and Brother Keith, thank you so much for being here. And all the others that couldn't join us and also off camera. I will see you guys again next week and we'll continue on. But please practice this. If you don't practice anything, practice what we've done today, okay? I know Brother Keith has been doing it. But for everyone in the Li Qigong online group, please practice this. If you don't practice anything, practice this. Spend half an hour a day doing this, taking care of your internal landscape, taking care of your organs. Yes, I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to form. I was to say,
Thank you, Kai.
bless,
Nice
brother.
to see you. Back.
Bye. Bye-bye, Keith. And there we have it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for following your hearts and listening to your hearts and joining us, following along with this video. I really hope that something within you changed. Food for thought, isn't it? If you found that this video has helped you in any way and you can and you are able, please donate, pay it forward. There'll be links somewhere. But wherever you are, whenever you are, I send you blessings and in good spirit. I'm the avatar, known as Tao Chi Kai. Om Ni Fu Om.